Well, good morning, everyone. I woke up a bit late today because there was a northern mockingbird that was mocking car alarm sounds for a few hours, so around probably midnight to like 2 a.m. I don't know if he was calling afterward because I was asleep, but at first I thought that there was some alarm going off, and I thought, okay, I'll go talk to someone at the front desk. But no, it was a northern mockingbird. I started Googling. My brother was the first to suggest that it was a bird because he was timing the calls and he saw that they were not even. Actually, when I was listening, I heard the same thing. And so I decided to look it up, and yeah, turns out it was a mockingbird. Anyway, that was interesting. But yeah, I was able to sleep anyway, and I do need to finish The Children of Hurin. But first, coffee and Latin, as always. Well, I just finished The Children of Hurin by J.R.R. Tolkien. This was a fantastic book. I was just thinking that there could even be like a mini-series based on this book. The protagonist, Turin, who is Hurin's son, is a tragic hero. This is a really sad, heartbreaking book, but it's also, like I said yesterday, it's the most psychological of Tolkien's works, at least the ones that I've read so far. This story really felt epic, not because it's long, but because of all of the themes, all of the references to epics in this work, and of course, classical tragedy. You have this character who thinks very highly of himself and sees himself as this warrior who will single-handedly destroy Morgoth and his enemies. And, you know, you get to follow him and what happens to him, what happens to his family, his friends. It's just a very moving, powerful work, beautifully written, kind of in that epic style that Tolkien uses in The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. Definitely, at times, it felt a little bit clumsy, but I still gave this 5 stars. It is definitely one of the best books I've read this year. There were just little details or some one-liners that just have stuck with me. The characters around Turin give him some great advice, and I think this is just a great book. It is dark. There are some pretty awful details, but I knew that going into it, and it's surprising, I think, because for the period in which Tolkien wrote these works, I think these kind of details would have been shocking. Anyway, I really love this, and I couldn't more highly recommend it. So now, I need to read 2 more books, probably tomorrow. Maybe I will start one today, so then I can catch up. I will probably read The Mystery at the very end, and I also need to continue reading Experiences in Translation by Umberto Eco. So I have 4 more books to read, but 2 of them are pretty short. So I could possibly make it, but I only have 2 days. We'll see. So I have my hat. It's a new hat that my mom bought for herself, but she's allowing me to borrow it while I read A Dangerous Place by Jacqueline Winspear, which is a Macy Dobbs novel. And yeah, it's a long, it's not tremendously long, for a book, but it's still like 260 pages. So, seeing the Booktubeathon ends Sunday at midnight, better start now. I don't think my family knows that I do Booktube. My brothers do, but I've never told my parents. And a lot of people don't know that I do Booktube. It's something that I like to keep secret. But anyway, there you go. So I was wrong. This morning I said that the calls were of a northern mockingbird, but actually they come from a bunch of frogs tons of frogs. And they, I was actually standing on top of one, or near one, I couldn't actually see it. And this is the sound. It's crazy. I know that the mockingbird is actually, quite common, in Florida, but I can't believe these are frogs. I mean, now that I'm hearing them, yeah, definitely they're frogs. And I actually walked to the other side of this area, and it was even louder there. But this is crazy. Well, that's it for the night. I read the first 30 pages of A Dangerous Place by Jacqueline Winspear. I really like how the author concentrates on Macy Dobbs as a person and her own experience. And this is also the first book I've ever read that explores a woman's experience with a miscarriage, because Macy Dobbs, her husband, died in a plane crash, and she was pregnant at the time, and she had a miscarriage because of all of the shock. And it seems like she was already having complications. And it's just really great to see a book that really looks at that experience and how at least one woman deals with the loss. So I've been enjoying this, but of course I've only read 30 pages, so I need to get back to it. And this cat isn't too uncomfortable, so... Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you guys all have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.